Hello, YG Gooner back again with another video. Um, First of all, like, please, I'm begging y'all. What I'm gonna do end of season reviews for all of the clubs inside the traditional top six, and then I'll do like what I would say is like my dark horse teams, right? Because really and truly, like the way the table's broken up right now is that you're getting in this Premier League you get in a competitive top half where anyone from 10th to 7th is just a couple of points. You get me? Like Chelsea ended off the season basically or almost getting a triple double in terms of win, losses, and draws. So let's just get into it. You get me? So with Arsenal, yeah, how I feel like we did in terms of a rating, I'm gonna rate it in terms of just letter grades, you feel me? So I would say A is being the best you can get. I'm not gonna do any pluses or anything like that. And then obviously uh E is gonna be the lowest you can get, right? That's just the way letter grades work. And so like with Arsenal, yeah, is tricky, you feel me? Because in terms of the beginning part of the season, what I was this yeah, let me just go with what I think, yeah. So going at the beginning of the season, what I think here is that our performances weren't good, but we're getting across the line. And this happened earlier on. And then we had our first kind of stumble with Fulham. They had a red card. We were up 2-1. We should have closed that game. And because the performances were stinky, you couldn't carry or push through. You feel me? Then we lost Thomas Partey early on. We lost Timber early on. And these are injuries. This is football. This is sports. Injuries will happen. You cannot yeah, you can't use injuries as a thing to be like, oh yeah, this player's injured. That's why as an excuse. As an excuse. You can't use injuries as an excuse of where you finish, right? Because you're supposed to have built a team on the transfer window that's prepared enough to go throughout the first half of the season. Get to December 31st. You feel me? Or even like no, not even that. Like even till February 1st, where the transfer window shuts or the second transfer window shuts, because the second transfer window is really just to bring in the reinforcements. So the first transfer window, get your war chest ready, and then second transfer window you replenish. So you're not like you've already got your food, you've already got your meat, you already got your potatoes, you already got your weapons and that in your war chest. What you're doing inside the other one is just replenishing, so topping up. You feel me? Um, and so what I would say, yeah, is first part of the season, we didn't look like we were challenging. We looked like we were just gonna be comfortable top four. Second half of the season, we challenged like hot and heavy, but we got knocked out of the cup competitions in the beginning of winter and that. You feel me? The Cabuano Cup or the Energy Drink Cup or the League Cup, that one's inexcusable. You feel me? Because we're up against West Ham. You feel me? It was inexcusable. And this comes back to the war chest. If the war chest was adequate enough, the rotation Arteta wanted to do would have worked. Because the war chest is it's not adequate enough, you can't do that, man. We can't go out there rotating our back line. We can't go there with Smith Rose and Fabi Bieras and Eddie Nketiahs and expect to generate what you need inside cup competitions, which generally speaking is just special moments to get you across the line, or even just playing your system. Play your system with your team that's well drilled, and then you should be able to play football and get West Ham off the park. We didn't do that. So that's going to be the major deterring factor for me with our domestic cup performance. Because I personally feel like we could have won the League Cup. The way the draw was going, the way everything was panning out, I do feel like that League Cup we couldn't have won it, man. Um, the way we fared off against Liverpool throughout the whole season, I really feel like we should have been able to get the best out of them in that game. And so we get the best out of or get the best out of them if we did face them inside the cup in earlier rounds after we've beat West Ham. Um, but I think the way the bracket went, we would have faced them in the final, and Chelsea is the team we would have played inside the quarters if we had beat West Ham. And so with that being said, we should have won. City were out, we should have won that cup, in my opinion, or at least got to the final. FA Cup, I'm not giving us a pass, even though we played Liverpool, tough team, but they put their kids on towards the end, and we should have been able to get across the line again. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And so those two cups is actually the main reason why I don't feel like we did well. Going to the UCL, people say that we had a Europa League group. We have not won the Europa League. So if we get a Europa League group, it doesn't matter because we still have to get across the line against those teams and top our group. We have not won the Europa League. Bro, like we won the Cup Winners' Cup, which then got eradicated because it was irrelevant based on the fact that so much teams were allowed to go into the into the Euro well, they called it UEFA at that time, UEFA and the Champions League, because so much teams were allowed to go into that competition. The Cup Winners' Cup became redundant because we had two cups inside the English Premier League. You win the FA Cup, you get to UEFA. I mean, you get to the Cup Winners' Cup, but then there's so much positions available in Europe. Long story short, we have won that competition before, but we haven't won it in recent times. In fact, we've been very woeful in Europe, and so any any club we go up, any groups say the groups are done, the tables are done it now, right? That competition of the Champions League is now eradicated, and we lost our only chance to win it. I don't feel it's weird because I'm gonna go to Porto. Porto, I don't care. Like so much people care about like how we got out and we did it on penalties, but like they're saying, oh, we're home for the second leg. Like the way that these tournaments work is based on aggregate. We lost the first game, we won the second game, but because of aggregate, we go into extra time and then penalties. I think I don't care how we get through. I just don't care. Honestly, didn't care how we got through. Um, Bayern, this is where it gets harsh again. And not harsh as in like, oh, like I'm drilling down on my team. Standards FC. No, it's we did not have the balls. Did not have the balls to face them, even at our home stadium. And I'm not gonna blame match going fans. It's not me blaming them. I'm not a match going fan myself. I used to live in the UK. I don't live in the UK anymore. I live in Canada. I'm not gonna criticize you. You guys have a different experience than me. The nerves I get watching TV, you probably get when you're inside the stadium. But there's a certain expectation for you guys to be this 12th man, and I feel like you guys were watching on TV. You feel me? But regardless of that, it's up to the players on the day, regardless of what they're facing, to be professionals and go into that game that we had at home. And I really truly believe that after we drew that game, I knew we were gonna lose when we got to the Alley Lands. I'm not one of those Arsenal fans who was like, give me Bayern. I didn't want Bayern actually. I wanted Barcelona or Borussia Dortmund. Which is funny because I think Borussia Dortmund might have beat us with how shaky we were at home. They could have beat us with how shaky we were at home. But that's the teams I wanted. Um, and they outplayed us, which is facts. They outplayed us. Um, it when we went to their home, but when we were at home, I think we lost it because we were shaky and we gave them goals. I think, to be honest, all we gave them both goals. It's facts. We gave them both goals, and that's what lost it to us. We could have won that first leg 2-0, and we probably would have gone through. And then in the league, overall in the league, like if we're going, like this is the thing, like football, there's so much layers, and Arsenal we need to be challenging on all fronts, and that's why I'm gonna come to the conclusion that I'm giving our season a C. I'm giving our season a C. That's just my personal preference. I've given you guys my breakdown of how I came to that conclusion, and I feel like if you don't win anything, it should be a C. It really should be. Um, yeah, that's me, man. YEG Gooner. I'm gonna be doing the other teams coming up real soon. You get me? Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Peace.